Hello, Hero Myth kiddos. I'm here. It's past my bedtime. I'm trying to get this done, so let's go. Jump right in. All right, so I have my myth analysis document up. I have my actual myth up. I have them side by side. It's easier for me to work that way. I highly recommend that you have your paper copy of your hero myth so that you don't have to have small screens and going back and forth. However, if you have the digital copy up, that's on Google Classroom, you could copy and paste, so it's really up to you. All right, so here we go. We don't really have a myth title. We're just going to call it Hercules. All right, winning. And the region of the world. Now, it doesn't specifically say it necessarily, but if you know anything about Greek mythology, you know Hercules is a hero from Greek mythology, and it does say in the myth that he lived in Greece. So we're going to say Greece. All right. So looking at our box, text organization, and we have the highlighting. And remember that the highlighting means we have to either get rid of the things that are wrong or not, no or. That's what we have to do. We have to get rid of the things that are wrong. So in reading the text about Hercules, I would say it goes pretty much in your standard order. It has some background information, then it sends him on a journey, and then he comes back. So we're going to go with in sequence only, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of everything else. All right, setting, Greece. Oh, my fault. Time, we're just going to call it ancient times because we don't know when. Greece. The setting does change because he goes on a journey. So we're just going to write that. The setting changed because he went on a journey to many different places. All right. Characters. Major character, Hercules. Goodness gracious. Minor characters. Okay, well, let's go. Let's remind ourselves. So we have the king. King is a minor character. We have the maidens. We have the old man. We have the giant. And we have Atlas. So we gotta go list those. So we have the king. We have the maidens. We have the old man. We have the giant. And we have, who else did I say? Atlas. Okay. All right. And the main problem or goal. So Hercules definitely has a goal in this. And his goal, and we're going to do it up here too. So the goal was to please his king, really. To please the king and bring back 3 golden apples. And a quote for support, easy. Let's see. I mean, there's lots we could use, but we're going to say, we're going to go to the end. Let's go to the end. Nah, let's go to the beginning. We'll go here. Again, I could have used a quote from the end. Could have used the quote. He's talking to, who does he talk to? I think he's talking to Atlas, and he says, hey, I got to get my king 3 apples. I got to get him for him. So we could have used that quote, but we'll just use this one from the beginning. The middle of the text. So event 1, the king does not like Hercules. I might be spelling Hercules' name wrong. I really don't know. The king doesn't like Hercules, so he always sets him out on crazy long journeys. He sends him to get 3 apples. Golden apples. That's important because if he was just getting regular apples, it wouldn't be quite a journey. All right. Event 2. Hercules encounters some obstacles. He runs into 3 maidens. He runs into a shape-shifting old man who has to tell him the way. And he runs into a very strong and angry giant that he has to defeat. Whew. It's a lot to write. Starving. Stomach's growling. And then event number 3, he first gets tricked by Atlas, but then he tricks Atlas so that he can get his 3 golden apples and take them back to the... All right, wonderful. So as you can see, we're moving right along. This is not really a hard task that I've set forth with you. It just takes a little bit of getting used to with the format and, you know, making sure that you're really understanding the myth right and doing the form right. So the end of the text. Was there a solution? Was there achievement? Was there failure? There was definitely achievement. And there will be. In most, if not all, hero myths, there's going to be achievement, because if they're not achieving their goal, then they're not heroes. So it's very normal and almost very likely that in a hero myth that you're going to have an achievement. So the achievement was that he successfully overcame all of the obstacles and got the king his 3 golden apples. All right, wonderful. So, quote for support. So what we're looking for is we're really looking for a quote that shows that he was successful. He brought the king his apples. So again, that's pretty easy to do. It's just a matter of taking the time, going back to the text, and looking for the proof that he was successful. So we're going to say, we're going to use these 2 sentences right here. He took a long time, but he finally got home, and he gave the 3 golden apples to the king. So that's proof that he achieved his mission. He got his 3 apples. That was his goal that we originally said was his goal in the beginning. Oh, I missed the H there, didn't I? All right. And now we come down to the theme, the lesson. And this is where you really have to put your thinking cap on. This is where you really have to ask yourself, what am I learning? What did I learn from this hero? Because remember, the heroes in myths are not superheroes. You can't be Superman. You weren't born on a different planet. You're not deathly allergic to kryptonite. You can't be Spider-Man. You weren't bitten by a radioactive spider. But you can be smart. You can outwit somebody who's trying to trick you. You can be strong. And so these are the types of lessons that you're looking for when you're looking in myths. So this is one of those things where there's not really a wrong answer, but it still needs to make sense, so you got to be careful. So the theme was that you can overcome any obstacles in your life if you are strong, determined, and smart. All right. And excuse me, I'm sorry. So quote for this, we're gonna take a couple from a couple different places. So the first thing we're gonna take is we're gonna take the part where he sneaks up on the old man, because he had to be smart to do that, knowing that the old man can shapeshift, knowing that he needs the old man because he needs the old man's directions. He had to be smart to do that. We're going to use, but Hercules held him tight. That shows that he was strong and determined. That no matter how many times this old man changed his shape, that Hercules was not going to be tricked into letting go. This whole giant part, we're gonna go here. He lifted him up. This shows not just Hercules' strength. Hercules had to be really strong to hold up the giant, but it also shows his smarts. Every time Hercules slammed the giant down, the giant got stronger. So Hercules had to be smart and figure out a different way to defeat the strong giant. And then, of course, when he tricks Atlas at the end, that's very smart. So we're going to need a quote from that too. He recovered his senses. This also shows perseverance. So being smart and just being perseverant and determined enough to get through it. All right. So I really got to speed it up because I only can record for 15 minutes at a time. So the setting in this case is Earth, but I'm also just going to I'm going to keep Cosmos in there because Atlas has to go get these golden apples from a place that Hercules cannot go. So we're going to keep them both in there. The time, definitely when the gods ruled, most definitely. So we can just delete that. All right, and we need evidence of that. And so, I think this is good enough. Atlas took the sky back from Hercules. And this quote might not seem like it's evidence. So this is when the explanation comes in, because I really have to explain that this shows that a god was holding the sky. So this is clearly at a time when the gods ruled. Wonderful. And the characters. Yes, we have gods. Yes, we have monsters being the giant. And yes, we have humans. So we have all of those things. Again, really for this, you could take any quote, and for the sake of time, I'm going to put any. You need to get a quote. You need to get a quote, but I am running out of time before this video cuts off, so because I'm cheap, I'm using the free version. So any quote that you pick is going to tell us that we have gods and humans and giants in this story. Oh, and a shapeshifter. That's probably the best quote to use, is one of the shape-shifting quotes, showing that the old man is changing from this animal to this animal to this animal. All right, events. What did it explain? How men should behave is definitely where we're going to go with this. It explained that man should be brave and determined. And I'm going to come up here, and I'm actually just going to steal all these quotes, because what it taught is the theme. So I'm going to steal all of those. And this means that humans can be... What am I doing? I'm doing events. This is going to be the same for theme too. This means that humans can be their own heroes. They are strong and brave and determined. And I'm actually just going to copy and paste all of this because, and you can't always do this. You might not be able to do this for Myth 2. For Myth 2, your events might be set up in a way that it's not going to be the event and the theme. However, for this one it is, and that's okay. Sometimes it will be, sometimes it won't be. All right. So I am running out of time on this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in the next video, and we're going to work on our paragraph skeleton, and then we'll be done with myth analysis part 1.